Nicole here with Job Hunt Solutions, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the cover letter. Now I know there's lots and lots of literature out there sort of on both sides of the argument that cover letters are necessary, cover letters aren't necessary, so I'm going to hopefully try to dispel some of those myths, and then we'll look at the elements of your cover letter. So first off, there's a lot of articles out there that suggest that many recruiters and HR managers and even hiring managers don't actually read cover letters. And for the most part, I would probably agree. I know myself and a lot of my recruitment colleagues and HR colleagues rarely read cover letters. That said, there are a number of opportunities you may see out there that request a person apply using both a cover letter and a resume. So in those cases, you absolutely should have a cover letter for your application. Unless it's specifically mentioned, however, there's really no need to go through all of the effort that it takes to pull together a really great cover letter. It's a lot of effort for very little or no return. Now, some of the industries, roles, and companies that might be interested in reading and reviewing cover letters would include the public sector. So a lot of times government roles will request to have cover letters. So definitely make sure you have your cover letter for that. Also, any sort of communications, sales, or marketing type of roles, maybe even consulting, the employer will ask for a cover letter, as this could be a really good example for the employer in assessing your written communication skills. So for those times that you need to write your cover letter, there are a few key parts that we'll go through really quickly, but just to let you know, I've got a link to my website below. I have a free template available for everybody, so you can come on over to my website, you can download the template, and that'll hopefully make life a lot easier for whenever you need to do your cover letter. But in the meantime, so the very first thing on your cover letter should be the name of the person, so the person you're addressing the letter to. You can use "to whom it may concern," but if you know who the person is that's posted the role or who the hiring manager might be, then use their name. I know I've said LinkedIn is a great resource, and it really is. You can usually look people up on LinkedIn and at least find out the person's name. If you can do that, that personal touch usually just makes it a little bit nicer. So the first paragraph is really just sort of an introduction to yourself, the reason why you're writing, and maybe just kind of high level, strengths that you might have. So if you're, say, a corporate communications person, you might say, having worked in communications for so many years, I'm writing to apply to this role with your company. And my key strengths are things like research or written communication skills. In the next paragraph, this is where you can really start to sell your experience and your expertise as it relates to the role. So you can name a few of the companies that you've worked for and even highlight some of your key accomplishments that you would have in your resume. You might want to elaborate on some of these accomplishments by adding in maybe who was involved in some of these key accomplishments that you had, as well as maybe any decisions that were made as a result of the work that you did. The third paragraph is really a great spot for any research that you would have done. And I know I've spoken about research before and the importance of that as part of your job search strategy. But in the cover letter, you might want to call out some notable findings or a really key notable finding from your research. So things like if there was a major leadership change, an acquisition, a merger, any sort of big finding that you would have come across. And then mention how your skills will help the company through this transition period. And finally, your fourth paragraph is really the closing statement. So you're going to highlight maybe some of your key skills and strengths, things like you're highly analytical, or again, anything with regard to your strong verbal communication skills, something that would be really relevant to this particular role and the challenge the company is facing. And then you end it with a call to action. So something like, I look forward to speaking with you to discuss my skills in this position further, and make mention of how you can be reached. So there you have it. With the cover letter, it's really going to depend on the role. Just be mindful that if a position, a job opportunity states in the job description itself to apply with a resume and cover letter, be sure to include a cover letter, and hopefully, this video has helped you with some of the elements of the cover letter. As mentioned before, of course, in the notes below, I have a link to a template of a cover letter that you can feel free, go ahead and download that. It is free, so don't worry about that. If you have any other hints and tips or suggestions on what else could go into a cover letter, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, of course, please press like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any other video ideas or would like to collaborate, I would love to hear from you. You can reach me on LinkedIn, Twitter, email, Facebook, whatever works for you. And of course, for personalized advice, you can come to my website, and I would be happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!